Welcome to the Farmish Kind of Life podcast, where we talk about homesteading stuff and life stuff and everything in between. Join me, Amy Dingman, as we explore big questions on a little farm. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Farmish Kind of Life podcast. Today is Tuesday, December 10th, 2024, and this is episode 300. 300 episodes. 300 is a really nice round number, and I feel like I maybe should have done something special for this episode, but it kind of snuck up on me. Like, I knew it was coming, and then I sat down to record today, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's right, this is episode 300. So I don't have anything real exciting planned for today, but I am so glad that you all are here. Whether you've just joined recently, you just discovered the Farmish Kind of Life podcast, or you've been here for many, many, many episodes. This podcast has gone through quite a few changes in more ways than one. So I hope that through all of those twists and turns and morphs and all of that, that it has been helpful for you in some way. Who knows? Maybe I will do a random celebration episode soon. I'm not sure. I know that my cousin Carter was wondering if I was going to change up the music with episode 300, but the problem is I like to use music for the podcast that my sons have written and have recorded for me, and they're a lot busier now than the last times that I would have requested music from them. I don't even remember what year it was when I changed from one music to the next. Yeah, my boys are a lot busier now, and that's a little tidbit for you if you didn't know that. The intro and the outro and the transition music that I have used here over the life of the podcast were done in-house right here at home. If my memory serves me correctly, that has been my oldest son's project. Both of my tall guys, that's what I call my boys, my adult boys, are very talented musicians, but I do believe that music for the podcast has always been the oldest's project. So if you didn't know that, now you know that. All right, so what are we going to be talking about today? The topic for today is 10 choices that you can make this holiday season when you're out doing the peoply thing and gathering with all the folks and doing the parties and living the stress. I'm going to talk about 10 choices that you can make. Some of them are silly, but it's a good list to keep in mind. And then after we talk about that silly list, then we'll dig into why I think that's an important list of choices that you can make. But first, before we get over there to the main topic, what's been happening on the Lifestead? One thing that was really cool is that I figured out how to make hot dog buns. Hot dog buns, you guys. I have been trying to figure out hot dog buns for the longest time. I make lots of bread. I make lots of different kinds of breads. I make buns. I make hamburger buns. Bread is what I do, right? I've never been able to do hot dog buns, but the other night I was like, you know what? I'm kind of craving. We have some hot dogs in the freezer, and I thought, I think I need to attempt these hot dog buns again. And so I found a recipe. I will link it in the show notes, but the recipe is from the reciperebel.com, and it's just hot dog buns. And I don't know what it is about this recipe. I don't know if it's the actual recipe, like the ingredients. I don't know if it's the rise time. I don't know if it's the tips she had in the recipe, but the hot dog buns turned out, and I was so excited. I separated this one hot dog bun from the rest of the buns, and it's steaming hot. And I carry it, my hands protected with, the sleeves of my sweatshirt. And I carry this hot dog bun over to my husband who's in the living room. And I shove it in his face. And I'm like, look at this. I did it. I have accomplished hot dog buns. They were delicious. They turned out really, really well. And I'm super excited. So if you've been trying to do hot dog buns and they're not working for you, go find this recipe. If I forget to link it, just go to thereciperebel.com and look up hot dog buns, and it will be there for you. What else can I catch you up on? The Farmish Papers. That is my snail mail newsletter. That was a monthly newsletter, and now it's going to be 3 different quarterly snail mail newsletters. And I actually have, through some discussions, because there was confusion about some things, I'm actually renaming the whole collection of snail mail newsletters. I'm renaming that the Farmish Collection, because the problem was I was calling this whole thing the Farmish Papers, but then one of the quarterly newsletters is also called the Farmish Papers. So people would be talking about, oh, I'm subscribed to the Farmish Papers, but I'm subscribed to the Tin Roof Review, because the Tin Roof Review is one of the newsletters that you can get in the subscription. So it just got very confusing because I was using the same name for two different things. So the whole snail mail thing now is called the Farmish Collection. There are 3 different snail mail newsletters within that. They are all quarterly, so you get them 4 times a year. So if you subscribe to the whole Farmish Collection, you will still get a snail mail newsletter every month. Does that make sense? All right. I'm bringing that up again because we're nearing the end of the year and everything's switching over in 2025 from the old system. So if you are not subscribed and you want to get in on this, please, please, please send me an email and let me know that, or send me a Facebook message or a Telegram message. I am having a little bit of trouble with the website. I have a sign-up thing on the website for the snail mail newsletters, and I had asked people to put their names on an interest list for which newsletters they were interested in. I'm having a little bit of a glitch with those interests list. One interest list in particular, it says there's a bunch of people on it, and it will not show me all the email addresses. So I have no way to contact the people that has signed up for that particular list. Not all of them, just some of them aren't showing up. I can see that there are more people signed up, but I'm not able to retrieve the email addresses. All of that to say, if you signed up on the website, A Farmish Kind of Life, if you signed up there to receive the snail mail newsletters, you put your name on a little interest list saying, yep, I'm interested, send me this. If you did that and you have not heard from me, you need to drop me an email, amy@afarmishkindoflife.com, or message me somewhere on social media and let me know. I have now contacted everybody that I was sent email information for. Also, if you messaged me somewhere or you sent me snail mail saying you wanted it and I have not contacted you, that means it got lost in the mail. So long story short, contact me. If you have not heard from me yet, you need to contact me because for some reason I did not get your information. There you go. I think that's all we need to say about that. All right, let's head over to the main topic and talk about 10 choices you can make this holiday season. Christmas is coming. We are here in December. The stress level is going up for a lot of folks. And today I just wanted to do a little episode because I know things are getting a little stressful out there for some people, a little spicy out there for some people. And the thing about Christmas, the thing about holidays, is that we end up getting together with people that we don't normally see. Like, that's the thing about the holidays, right? We come home for Christmas, or, oh, we're gonna go get together for Christmas because it's the holidays. You know, it's the only time I see you, whatever. So it could be stressful because that's just the whole thing. We get together with people we don't normally see. But I've also started to consider that the reason that Christmas can be so stressful is because it's such a thing. Okay? When we do random last minute get-togethers, like, hey, we should get together this weekend for a picnic. You want to get together? Maybe we should have a bonfire. You know, like you organize this last minute get-together. Okay, now we're getting together. It's not a thing, right? It's not stressful. Okay? We're just going to get together. We're going to do this thing. We're going to have a meal. We're going to hang out. We're going to talk. And it's going to be great, right? Kids will run around and be awesome. It's not a thing. It's not stressful. Christmas is a thing, right? We have turned it into a thing. There are expectations. There's just this whole blanket of like, yeah, over the whole holiday. It's a thing. And I think that's part of why it's so stressful. We're going to talk more about that after I give you this list that I have. But let's dig into this list. Here's my silly little list. 10 choices you can make this holiday season. Okay. Number 1, when you are packing up to go to your holiday get-together, I want you to remember to choose to pack patience. Okay. When your aunt so-and-so or your grandma or your stepbrother or whoever starts in with their unsolicited advice and commentary, just take a deep breath. Take a deep breath and remember, it's temporary. You're only going to be there a couple hours. It's fine. Be patient. Just reach into your little bag that you've packed. Take out a little patience. Yes, and that is not code for alcohol, you all. I mean, just pack some actual patience and grace, right? It's temporary. Let's be patient. Number 2, you can choose your battles wisely. That's another choice you can make. Is it really worth debating whether the turkey was dry or whether the glaze on the ham was what you would have done? Is it really worth debating how many Christmas presents so-and-so bought for the kids? Like all that stuff that we debate and nitpick about. Is it worth debating that? Probably not. Probably not. Just smile, pass the gravy, watch the kids open the gifts. Just smile. Choose your battles wisely. All right, number 3, choose humor over hostility. When your uncle or your grandpa or your stepdad, or I don't even know, and I don't know why I'm saying all guys. If anybody is going to bring up politics, is going to bring up current events, or something that just doesn't fit with the vibe of what's going on, I want you to channel your inner comedian, okay? And I want you to steer the conversation to something totally ridiculous. Just break the tension. Just cut that tension. And I don't know what funny thing you're going to say, but choosing humor over the hostility that is just so prevalent or so present sometimes. Let's just laugh a little. Let's just bring it down. Bring it down a little, and let's be funny, okay? And I don't have any funny jokes for you right now, but prepare, okay? Because if you know you're walking into something that's a little hostile, or there's going to be someone that's just going to bring up all those topics that we maybe don't need to talk about, let's just be funny, okay? Just be your charming, funny self, okay? I don't know. Number 4. Another thing that you can choose is you can choose to set boundaries. And what I mean by this is if the topic is getting too intense, okay, the funny didn't work, or it's just getting a little out of control, it is okay for you to excuse yourself. It is okay to be stepping back. And you can say, you know what? I think it's time for another cookie. That's your escape plan, right? That is your ticket out, all right? I need another cookie. I need another glass of punch. I need another, you know what I'm saying. Number 5, you can choose gratitude. We did just have this holiday where we're supposed to focus on thankfulness and gratitude and all the great things that we already have. We can focus on that. You can find something to be genuinely thankful for in the moment. Maybe it's the really great mashed potatoes, Maybe the gravy was just amazing. Maybe, I don't know, there's got to be something awesome that you are super thankful for. Maybe you're just really thankful that the TV isn't on, or maybe you're really thankful the TV is on because it's a nice distraction. I don't know, there's got to be something there, something right there where you are that you can find to be thankful for in that moment. Number 6, choose to be the bigger person. At your holiday gathering, maybe it's family, maybe it's friends, maybe it's coworkers, maybe it's your spouse's coworkers, I don't know, okay? Choose to be the bigger person. There's going to be snarky comments, and not every snarky comment needs a response from you, okay? Your peace and your serenity and your zen is priceless. And sometimes it makes more of an impact than making a snarky comment back. Okay? Number 7, you can choose to exit gracefully. Remember, things get heated and you're like, I think I need another cookie. And you kind of excuse yourself from the situation. If you have decided, you know what, things are just getting out of hand, and I think it's time for us to make our exit, that's okay. Leaving early is always an option. Nobody is holding a gun to your head. Nobody's holding a gun to your head, making you stay there till the very end or longer than you feel like, it's emotionally safe to be there, or whatever you want to call it. Maybe there's really bad traffic and you feel like you should get on the road because, you've got a few hours to drive home. And so it's probably time we get on the road. Maybe you've got plans right away in the morning. Maybe you have to work in the morning. I don't know. There's a joke at one of my family get-togethers. My great uncle was a farmer, and so very often he would come to family get-togethers, and when he'd leave, he would always say something like, "Well, I've got pigs coming in," which he did have pigs coming in, but it became a thing in our family that when it was time to leave, we're like, oh, I should really get going because, whatever. And then someone will say, oh, do you have pigs coming in? So you can use that excuse if you'd like. You can tell everybody you got pigs coming in. I mean, the farm waits for no one, right? Doesn't matter if it's Christmas. Maybe you have pigs coming in. I don't know. All right. Number 8, choose kindness over pettiness or sarcasm. When your cousin starts bragging about her new car or something, I can't talk. I did just actually get a new to me vehicle. I got a 2019 Chevy Blazer. Long story, which I realized I never even told on the podcast. But I have a new set of wheels and I love them. And I feel like it's a spaceship because it's just like, it has so many buttons and so many bells and whistles and gizmos. I don't even know everything this vehicle does, but it's funny that I immediately went to this person bragging about their new car. But there you go. All right. So if Amy's there and she's bragging about her new car, give her a compliment instead of a sarcastic comment. Maybe it'll surprise her. Maybe it will baffle her. Simply a suggestion. You all these things that I'm talking about, you all have somebody in mind, right? That you're like, oh, yeah, I got that person in my family. I got that person at the office party. I got that person. We all deal with people, right? Number 9, choose to focus on the positive. Now, there is a lot of positive stuff about Christmas. Christmas can be really difficult for some folks, okay? Sometimes it's their first Christmas without a loved one. Sometimes it's been just a really, really hard Christmas for financial reasons, or there's so many things it could be, right? So Christmas is not always difficult just because we have to deal with people, right? There's 2 different kinds of difficulty here. But find something positive to focus on, instead of fixating on the tension in the room, focus on how much fun the kids are having. The kids who are not involved in the adult mess, right? The kids that are super excited to be playing with their new toys or super excited to open presents or like just being a kid at Christmas, right? You focus on the lights, focus on the amazing smells of the great food in the house, focus on just the people that get to be together, maybe somebody you haven't been able to spend time with. Just there's so much positive that we can find even in the midst of Christmases that are difficult. And I'm not saying that to be sing-songy or fake. I'm just saying there's got to be something that we can pull out instead of getting swamped and mucked down with the negative. Number 10, choose not to be triggered. Choose not to be offended. Choose not to read into what people say. Choose not to assume. And I guess I could have made that 10, 11, 12, 13. What would that have been? How many did I give there? But I shove those all together because they're kind of all the same thing. We can get really triggered, especially when we're stressed. We can look for ways to be offended at what someone said to us. We can read into what people say. Oh, that's what they probably meant. Of course, that's why they said that. We can get really stuck in assumptions about what someone is doing, why they're doing it. there's so much that we can do, and we bring more stress upon ourselves that's absolutely unnecessary. And I'm not saying that from some enlightened place, because we all deal with it and we all fall victim to it. But I'm putting it on the list because it's something to keep in mind when you're out doing the holiday thing and peopling with people, right? So that is the list of 10 things. And now I'm going to just dig in just a little bit into some things I think we need to remember aside from this list. Things like you control your energy. Okay, you control your reactions. And that's so funny, because for all the things that us humans think we're in charge of and we try to control, we try to have control of, you think we would be way more in tune with our energy and our reactions and our emotions and all that, right? But those things, which we actually can control, seem to be the things we want to push off to other people. Like, you made me so mad. Or, I'm so upset because, she came in here and she brought that salad that she always brings. And it's, just the reason that I think we really need to be conscious of how we are acting at Christmas and how we are, what we're doing with this whole list of choices that we can make. Why does that matter? Why does it really even matter? I think it matters for a few reasons. Number one, your kids are watching you. Your kids are watching how you relate to everything, how you react to everything, what you say. They're watching you, and they're taking that all in. Even if they don't say anything, they are watching how you react to everything that happens at Christmas, right? Not only are your kids watching you, other people's kids are watching you. You have an audience of many, okay? And whether or not they realize they're watching you, right? They're taking that all in, and they're learning how to act, how to react in situations. Not only are the kids watching you, other adult family members are watching you. I will tell you, there are people in my life that I have watched for a very long time as adults, and they really inspire me with how they react or respond to obnoxious comments, stressful situations. And this is all like holiday gatherings or situations that are similar. Like, I have watched other adults in my circle and how they deal with stuff, and I have learned stuff from those people. So be aware, it is not just the kids that are watching you, it is other adults. And you can inspire other adults to do better, because we never stop learning, right? Now, I am not at all saying that we should be doormats under people's feet during the holidays. Please do not mishear me on this. What I am saying is that there are a lot of things we get frustrated about that aren't worth our time. And the number of those things, the number of those situations where that happens, where we get frustrated about things that aren't worth our time, that happens a lot when we're already stressed out, which is very, very common this time of year, okay? So be willing to take a step back and go, is this really something that I need to be frustrated about? Is this really something I need to be offended about? Is this really something, like, did this happen the way I thought it did? Or was I like viewing this through, eyeballs that were filled with stress, and I just assumed a bunch of things and I read into a bunch of things? Or I'm letting history and our relationship and all of that just vomit all over this situation, and I'm totally misreading it. That's a really adult thing to do, okay? Again, I'm not saying be a doormat. There are people out there, I know you all, and you are dealing with some ish this Christmas, and you got some real toxic family stuff that's going on, or some real serious situations that are going on, particularly this year. So I am not saying just push that away and don't worry, okay? Please hear me with my actual intention here. There's stuff to worry about, there's stuff to care about, there's stuff to get mad about, and then there's stuff that doesn't belong in that category. So be adult enough to figure out what those things are, okay? Here's something that I don't think we talk about enough, and I think that's why it's really important that the list of 10 things I gave you in the beginning, we're all thinking about, how am I going to deal with these annoying people or these people that make me uncomfortable, or like whatever the thing is that you're worried about or not looking forward to regarding your holiday get-togethers, okay? I want you to take a minute here and realize something, okay? You are the annoying one for someone else at that party, at that get-together. You are the one that makes people uncomfortable at that party. You are the one that someone else at that party is having an internal dialogue with or about. Okay? So if I was going to imagine this about myself, okay, there's going to be somebody at some get-together saying, oh, great, now we get to listen to Amy talk about her farm. And I bet everything she brought to the party she grew herself or she made it from scratch, right? There may be somebody saying that about me, okay? There may be someone saying, oh, my God, I hope Amy doesn't bring up whatever, right? Or they're thinking, oh, great, now we get to hang out with Amy, the 1950s wife whose kids are adults, and she's still just hanging out at home. Right? These are like, this is the way I live my life. And there are people at holiday gatherings who may be looking at my life going, give me a break. And now I am the person that they are not looking forward to seeing, or they are annoyed with, or the fact that I am there makes them uncomfortable because they're comparing our lives. And like, do you know what I'm saying? There may be somebody there thinking, oh, great, I wonder what Amy thinks about all of us when she goes home to her little house on the prairie life. She's probably laughing that I brought store-bought buns, right? These are all things that other people could be thinking. And fill in the blanks for yourself. That's very humbling to think about, okay? You are the annoying one for someone else at that party. You are the one that makes people uncomfortable. Someone at that party may be uncomfortable because you are there. You are the one that somebody at that party is having an internal dialogue with or about, okay? When you think about that for a minute, it's a little humbling. And then you're like, okay. Makes you step back for a second and reassess the situation and reassess everything that's happening at the get-together. One of the last things here is don't let other people ruin your holiday. Don't give them that control. I realized the other day, I was feeling a little bit of stress about some upcoming holiday stuff, and it was because of some potential situations with a certain individual. And I realized a couple things as I was thinking through this. The first is that I'm making things up in my head. I have made up 14 different scenarios with 5 different ways to respond to all those scenarios. And as of yet, not a single one of those things has come to be a reality. So I'm creating stress where there doesn't need to be stress because the things that I'm making into an issue in my head haven't even happened, and they're probably not going to happen. So why am I messing with my happy Christmas vibe, getting stuck, planning out all these comebacks in my head for situations that have like this 0.005% chance of happening? Like, what? Why am I doing that? The second thing that I realized was, even if one of the 14 different scenarios in my head does happen, so what? Am I really going to let one individual walk in and then I'm going to like hand over control of my emotions and my vibe and my holiday to this person? Come on now. I said earlier in this episode, there's all these things that humans try to control, right? We try to be in charge of them, and we're not in charge of them, and we're not in control of them, and we get so mad. And then there's this thing called our emotions and our vibe and like our whole holiday thing, like that we can be in control of. And it's almost like we're like, no, I don't want to be in control of that. I don't want to be in control of my response. I don't want to be in control of my reaction. I don't want to be in control of the emotions. Like, I don't want to be in control of any of that. That's somebody else's fault. Like, why do we do that? Humans are so weird, aren't we? One final thought. I'm just thinking about this right now. Realize, I mean, when stuff does go wonky, and this goes for any time of year, not just the holidays, but everything's just elevated during the holidays. Realize the thing that happens, that wonky thing, that thing they said, that like whatever, it lasted 4 seconds, right? And we then think about it for 4 years, right? And most of the time it does not warrant that. Okay? It doesn't warrant that. Like, move on. And again, I'm not saying be a doormat. I hope I covered that well enough. I think sometimes we just need to figure out what situations go in what column. And I think we have a habit, especially in 2024, of putting a lot of stuff that needs to be in this is a very serious thing that needs to be dealt with and that I need to take a stand on. We put a lot of stuff in that category that really needs to be in the other category or column, which is, yeah, that's annoying, but whatever. Right? So that's what I have for you today. My list of 10 choices that you can make this holiday season, and then a lot of babble that surrounds that. I hope that you will find this helpful. If you're finding yourself getting a little stressed out about the holiday, maybe you'll think back to something that I said in this episode, and maybe it'll make you smile. Maybe it'll give you a little tip about how to continue so you can have some happy in your holiday and just enjoy all that is. All right, head over to the website if you need to get caught up with what's going on with the Farmish collection. If you have not heard from me and you are waiting to hear from me regarding that, please drop me a message because I didn't get your information if you have not heard from me yet. Thank you so much for hanging out here with me at the 300th episode of the Farmish Kind of Life podcast. There's a gazillion podcasts out there that you could listen to, and you keep coming back here and listening to me babble about whatever I've decided to babble about for the day. I appreciate you all so much. I hope you have an awesome week, and I will talk to you again soon. Hope you enjoyed the show today. To continue the conversation, visit our website at afarmishkindoflife.com, find A Farmish Kind of Life on social media, or drop me an email at amy@afarmishkindoflife.com. Peace, love, and bacon, y'all. Stay Farmish.